Hello, you guys. Welcome to Melissa Valentine's Nursery. If you don't know me, my name is Melissa, and here we have the beautiful Noelle, painted by Natalie Fakebridge. I had taken her clothes off. I do a collab with Sandra. I'm trying to I don't like to glare on my glasses, but I might need them for when I read what I'm about to do. But anyway, I had her dressed, and so sorry, you guys. I had her dressed, and I took her off after the collab because, you know, I was looking at her limbs and just seeing what she's all about. And sometimes, you know, we cover that stuff up and we miss out on it. You know, how many times do we stare at their legs? You know, how many times do we, you know, stare at parts that have been covered? You know, like our dolls are cloth body, you know, most of us. But it's good to look at the other features and enjoy them as well. You know, so I actually, I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. I didn't really do any videos on my own this weekend. I just didn't feel like it. I knew I wanted to do the getting to know me tag. I knew I wanted to do that. Sometimes if I do things when I want to do them, I feel like I do them much better. And yesterday was a lazy day for me and Joe. Last week we cleaned and we cooked out and we relaxed that evening. Yesterday was a cloudy, rainy, you know, day, and we just chilled out. I finished crocheting his blanket, which looks awesome, by the way. So that was a good thing. So I woke up at 3:30 this morning and I was carousing through YouTube, all sorts of parts of YouTube, nothing specific. Just kind of jumping around, you know? So Joey had to be up, and so I was like, well, let me go ahead and jump in the shower, get that over with for today, and then see if Joseph's up. I didn't even make him breakfast. I should have. I normally do, but on Monday mornings before I catch him when he leaves, because he leaves early in the morning, and normally through the week, he's gone when I get home. So, I said I want to do a video. I didn't get to do one, you know, earlier this weekend. I mean, I did do the collab, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm showered and everything, and I want to go ahead and do this collab with this collab. I did the collab. I did with Sandra. Go watch it. Go check it out. It's a getting to know me tag. Getting to know me tag. Okay. So this originally, I first seen it with Beth. I seen it on Beth's channel. And then Sandra did it. And I started adding numbers when Sandra did it on her channel, but I messed up my numbers. So my numbers are not in order because I think I combined some of the questions. But it's getting to know me. And those of you who have been watching me a while, you guys already know me. A lot of these you guys already know. How old am I? I have said it 50 million times on this channel. I'm 41. 41. How many kids do I have? One. Joseph. He's at school right now. He's in his second year of college, and he is 19. He just had a birthday. How old was I when my son was born? I was 22. I was 21 when I got pregnant. I was 22. It was a month after I just turned 22 when he was born. My favorite colors, I love purple. Purple is one, but not like a dark purple, more like a lighter, you know, more Easter purple, you know. Not like a rave purple, you know. I also like soft pinks. I like soft pinks. I like purple. I do like the light sage greens. I like any relaxing, you know what, maybe Easter. Maybe I like Easter colors, you know. How many babies do I have? I have 7 reborn dolls. I have the Laura sculpt, painted by Kimberly Clark. That's my Lenore. I have the Madison sculpt, which is my Melody, painted by Natalie Fakebridge. I have Quinby, which is Ella May, painted by Lori Neal. I've got my Oakley sculpt, which is my William, painted by Natalie Fakebridge. I've got Victor, which is my Joseph, and he was painted by Natalie Fakebridge. And I've got my Teddy sculpt, and this is my Noelle. This was my Christmas custom, and she was painted by Natalie Fakebridge. And then I have my original Reborn, which was Alyssa sculpt. I named her Adelaide, my little Addie, and she's painted by Natalie Fakebridge. My favorite season is the fall. I love the coziness of the fall. I love the crisp air. There's a little bite in the air, you know. I love just the whole themes like apples and pumpkins and apple pies, and that's when all the good desserts start coming out. The stick to your gut meals, the soups and the just the warm, fuzzy feelings for me. It may not be for everybody, but fall, I love fall. A lot of my colors in my house are like fall colors, the browns, and even though I may not those may not be my favorite colors, but I just like those better. And I think it's because growing up, my mom had a lot of earth tone colors in her house also. So I think maybe that's what I get it from. My favorite flower, I do not have a favorite flower. For some reason, orchids always make their way into my life. And you put 3 ice cubes in them every now and then, and they're all right for a while. And then eventually they die. But usually they grow on me and they do really well. And then they die. How does this hobby help me? For me, I feel like this hobby is an escape from my everyday, everything, my everyday everything. It's an escape from work, it's escape from responsibilities. It's like my little getaway, my little playroom. The babies are nice to look at. They're hyper realistic. The one thing I have noticed is, since I've been in the hobby, I feel like I've upped my game more and more with my babies. And I know before I got in the hobby, I was like, oh my God, the babies look so real. Oh my God, oh my God. And now I'm at a point where yeah, they look real, but the shot factor is gone. It's gone. It's like, okay, so they look real, but I still, you guys, sorry, I feel a little stuffy. But I still enjoy them. You know what I mean? And now when I look at a Walmart doll or just a plain Jane, doll from anywhere, if you just get you go buy your niece a $15 doll at Walmart or whatever, it's they're just eh, they're really when you get the really good Barbies, and then you get the dollar store plastic Barbies, and those plastic Barbies, I feel like they're junk. You could squeeze it. It's almost I've had these Barbies that you can get for $1 when I was little. And they literally were shitty as hell. Whereas Barbie, her legs were more rubbery and you can click her knees, where the other ones were straight knees and hollow. And, I feel like that, But I love my Reborns. I was talking to Sandra yesterday about this, and I was telling her, as much as I love the hobby and as much as I, love doing this, what are prices going to be next year? What are prices going to be the following year? So, we were talking about and discussing the babies that we want in our nursery. And I do know, when it comes to the doll show, I may get a doll, I may not. But I have got to make sure that baby checks all my boxes, right? And then for Christmas, I would love to have a portrait baby of me. And then I think I'm content for a while. I do have a Joanna sculpt that's a kit that's blank, and that one's just chilling. I'm not in a rush to get that one painted because I know I've secured the kit. The thing is, though, like it's worrisome because I love buying new babies. I love like planning, and I love talking to Natalie about, you know, the options and everything like that. But, you know, me and Sandra were discussing this on the phone. We should not have to budget our baby into our budget, if that makes sense. Like, normally you have to budget in, you know, your prescriptions, or normally you have to budget in, you know, something of that nature, something that's a necessity. And when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I love my hobby so much, and we try to enjoy it, sometimes we get really impulsive and we get ahead of ourselves. And we'll say, well, we know we want to get that baby, so we'll pay the major bills and then we'll get the baby, and to hell with the minor bills. Or maybe we go ahead and we purchase the baby first, you know, or start making payments on a baby, and then we're like, okay, let's pay our bills, you know, later. Let's see what we have left over after. And it shouldn't technically be that way. Especially, you know, eggs, everything's just going up, you know, and that's just the sad reality of it. I love the hobby. I love the babies. I think that I am so content with the ones that I've got, that I have. You know, so the babies take me away to a place that calms me, you know, helps my anxiety. Even if I'm feeling depressed and I have a depressed day, you know, grabbing a baby and putting the baby on my lap makes me feel all the better. And also like the community that has reached out to me, and I've met so many wonderful people. You know, I've gotten you know, the doll show last year, I got to meet a few of you. And then here on YouTube, I've had so many wonderful conversations, you know. There's many, many people that watch, and some connect better than others. And that's a wonderful thing, that, you know, there's a community and we support each other, and this is a safe place. And you should never feel like you're never welcomed on my channel, because part of this hobby with it helping me is the sense of community and the compassion that we all have for each other. You know, a lot of us maybe, you know, have certain types of mental illness or physical ailments, and we're here as a support system. So, you know, and we help each other. You know, next question, rooted or painted hair? Well, you guys, you already know. If you watch me, I started with a rooted hair baby, and I started buying a lot of painted hair, and I had a combi hair baby, and it seems like I would gravitate more towards rooted. I love my rooted babies. You know, I would look at, and I looked at my first Reborn, you know, I would look at my painted baby hair, painted baby's hair, the painted baby. I look at the painted baby, and no matter how beautifully it could have been painted, it just wasn't. I had to grow into this. I had to grow into the hair babies, with the rooted hair. At first, I didn't really, you know, it was in the beginning when you do Reborn collecting, it's more or less sleep or awake. Do you like a sleep or do you like awake? And then you start hearing about all the, you know, the crud about, you know, buying off Amazon or buying the legit thing, you know? And I tried to stay away from that. I did, I think I did a series and stuff on it. Back then, I would actually plan my YouTube videos more and come up with creative content to entertain and to teach. And I still would love to do that. It's just not in the cards for me right now. Because it turned into a chore at one point, you know, and it turned into a chore, and I don't want this to become a chore. I want this to be a casual, relaxing thing for us, you know. If it feels forced, then it feels, you know, after a while, when something starts feeling forced, you don't want to do it. And then you start being like, you're faking, and I don't want to fake, you know. I want this to be, hey, how you doing? You know, come over to my nursery, hang out with me. Let's have a Pepsi, you know, let's have a coffee, whatever. Drink some vodka, you know. I want to chill. We're adults in this adult hobby. You know, some responsible teenagers may do this at 16, 17. But all in all, we are, you know, most of us are responsible adults who just want to escape or enjoy our dolls. And, you know, so be it. And we evolve. So with the rooted and painted hair, I didn't just start getting rooted babies. My first one was rooted by coincidence, but I didn't just say, hey, you know, I was more involved with the things that you first see when you start collecting. It wasn't until later that I realized that I valued my rooted hair babies better than the painted hair babies. And it didn't matter what the paint job looked like, because the ruby that I had, it was both rubies. Especially the second one was painted gorgeous. The second ruby was painted gorgeous. She had a very, very talented artist who painted her. And I still, you guys, I hope I'm not getting sick. And I still liked my first ruby better, Capri, even though she was a cuddle baby. But that didn't change the fact that I still wanted rooted. It did not matter. I had Quinby that Beth bought, and Quinby was painted very nicely. But I wanted hair on the baby. I wanted legit rooted hair, right? And that's what made me happy. And I love it. I feel like the babies have, the realism pops more with hair for me. Now, you know, if you're putting hats on your babies, or, you know, 9 times out of 10, you take them to the store and people are not going to, you know, say, oh, you know, they'll think it's a real baby either way if, you know, in passing, you know, if they're not staring at the baby, right? And the hair half the time doesn't even affect that. But for me, I feel like it's something that's important for me. Okay. Asleep or awake? I don't have a preference. I used to have a preference. I used to like the asleep babies. I felt like the realism is there more when you take the baby out, because it just looks like a sleeping baby. Because if it's an awake baby, then the baby looks like, I don't know, stunned, froze, whatever, right? But I don't take my babies out anymore like I had once before. I just slowed down doing it. It wasn't that I didn't like doing it. I just don't take them out as often. It's just life, you know, no, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just, that's just what started to happen, you know? Now, you know, taking the babies out, like I said, asleep looks better. But for me, in my collection, I don't care if they're asleep or awake. The asleep ones look peaceful. They do. They look very peaceful. But the awake ones, you know, sometimes they look like they have a little character. They look like they're speaking to you in some way. You know, I have the Oakley sculpt. Let's see. I have 2. What do I have? I have 2 awake babies. I have the Oakley sculpt, and he's smiling, kind of like a Charlie. He puts me in the eyes of the Charlie sculpt, like a happy baby. Nothing can bother him. And then, you know, I have my Madison, who's got these beautiful dark eyes, and she's just very pensive, like she's thinking about something. And I love both of their looks. I love it. I like to have a little variety in my nursery. And so I have well, right now I have all rooted and it's going to stay that way. But as far as I have open eyes, closed eyes, my open eyes is dark. And then I have one that's like a blue eyes, you know. I have different shades of brown hair. I even have a dark blonde. I am very happy with my variety that I have come to collect, you know, like have established over the years. It's taken me a while to get here. And I finally feel with my reborns that I am completely content. Now, I have 3 alternative babies and I am up in the air with my, if I'm going to keep them around or not. And that was another discussion I had with Sandra recently. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I want to keep them. I don't interact with them often. They're up there shelved. They're fun. They're cool. I think taking Frankie out for a holiday, like for Halloween would be awesome. And he's sleeping. All my alternative babies are sleeping babies. I love the fairy baby. And that's the thing. Like, I love the fairy baby. Like, I think I love her the best. I like the fairy baby the best. And the Spider-Man, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I just thought it was so cool because you don't see anything like that. Like, nobody has Marvel painted Reborns, you know? Like, nobody has that. That's just really, really cool. I really don't think I'm going to sell my fairy. My fairy, I think, she's going to stay here. However, the Spider-Man, I think, would be the first to go. And yeah, I'd be more willing to let the Spider-Man go quicker. My fairy girl, I think I wouldn't, she'd be the very last one, if at all. But that's that. You guys, I swear my ADHD is off the chain today. I think I've been up since 3:30. Here it is, like, I don't know, it's after 8. I woke up and showered and I was just all over the place. There's no mental consistency for me this morning. And that's normal for me at times. I'm scatterbrained. I'm glad I got my shower out of the way. That's out of the way. And, you know, so, and I didn't even eat breakfast this morning. Like, it didn't even faze me, you know. And that's how I get sometimes. That's just how I get. You know, even sometimes when I eat, if I'm sitting at the table sometimes with Joseph and eating dinner, I'll be eating dinner and I lose interest halfway through. And I'm like, I'm going to put it away. I did that yesterday. And we had the best ribs. Like, I treated us to ribs this pay period. Joey made the best fall off the bone. Oh my goodness gracious. Juicy. And I was like, I'm bored. So I put it away. And then I warm them up about 9:30. So I do that. I kind of lose interest. I'm like squirrel, you know, because that's just how it is. That's just how it is with me. Sometimes I could sit through a meal and devour it most of the time. But then there's times where I'm just like I said, squirrel, you know. My favorite food. Oh, all right. Sandra, get a pen when I visit you. Get a pen. I know we were going to be in your kitchen. I like chicken parmesan. I love chicken parmesan, especially like Sandra makes the same chicken cutlets that I grew up on. And you take the sauce and you put it on, and you take the mozzarella and you put it in the oven. Oh my God. I could put it on Italian bread and it is so good. I also love stuffed shells with ricotta cheese. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God. It's so good. I have not had stuffed shells in, I can't tell you how long. Or even, hell, manicotti, either one. Stuff with the cheese. Oh man, I love that type of stuff. I don't go too crazy with sauce. Now listen, I used to love sauce. I remember when I was younger, I'd sit at the kitchen table, and I remember I had an entire ode to sauce once. I was telling my mother, I said, Ma, I said, I love sauce. I love red sauce. Sauce is so good. Sauce goes with everything. And I just was telling my mother that I love sauce. And I'm like, oh, I love sauce. But now that I'm older, I don't get heartburn from it or anything. I put less. Like my pizzas, when I order them, I order light sauce. Or I think it's just the tomato, the strong tomato flavor in some sauce. Now growing up, my grandmother, like, I've had homemade sauce and I felt like it wasn't as strong. Maybe it's these like jar sauces sometimes, or like the instant sauce or whatever the hell they're called, you know, maybe that's, I don't know. But nowadays I'm like, you know, light sauce. Even when I have spaghetti, like we have the noodles. We don't mix, no. We don't mix sauce with the pasta. No. You take the pasta, you put a little bit of butter, a little bit of parsley, mix it together, plate it, and then you put your sauce on top and your meatballs and your sausage and everything. No. You don't mix it. I won't eat it mixed. I don't eat sauce and noodles mixed. I don't like it like that. And then I put a little Parmesan. Oh my God. I must be hungry. My favorite cartoon. I love Family Guy. I love South Park. I like Bob's Burgers. Now when Joe was little, yes, I had exposure to Wonder Pets and Yo Gabba Gabba and all those. And that was fine, you know, and he loved the engine, steam, Thomas the Steam Engine. He loved that. But now that Joseph's 19, we don't watch cartoons. We don't watch them at all. Now when Joe was little, believe it or not, the theme song to South Park actually calmed him down. So he didn't know what any of that shit was on South Park when when it would be on, but whatever. It calmed him down, the theme song. Welcome South Park. I forgot how it goes, okay? But I do like South Park. I like Family Guy, and I like Bob's Burgers. I feel like my sinuses are just like, nasty. All right. Favorite singer. I have a lot of favorite singers, bands. You guys, I am through and through a early millennial. I am actually like between Gen X. I'm on the cusp. And a lot of my beliefs and everything and things I like is Gen X. But I used to say, I can't stand millennials, But I am a millennial. Okay? So I do like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all the old stuff. I like Ace of Base. I like Mariah Carey. I like old Mariah Carey. I like, what else? I like a lot of singers. Mostly the older stuff. Like I graduated high school in 2002. So all the music that was hot back then was, the stuff that I listened to. And not just singers, like bands and stuff like Linkin Park, Weezer. I listened to a whole array of stuff. I even listened to, growing up and to this day, I will listen to Elvis Presley. I was in the shower this morning and I had the Beach Boys on. So Hootie and the Blowfish. I don't know, like, and then soundtracks. Like I love certain musical soundtracks. So I don't think it's a particular singer. I think it's just my preference of sound and what I like going in my ears. I like Adele, and who else do I like? Seth MacFarlane, some of his like jazzy music. I like some of it. I used to own one of his CDs. Music is Better Than Words. I used to love that. I played that all the time. I've even listened to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Louis Armstrong. You guys, I am so all over the place with music because music is wonderful. I'd rather listen to music than listen to anybody talk. I'd rather listen to music than watch regular TV. I'll be in the car with Joseph and Joseph loves to talk. Oh, he tells me everything. And then sometimes I'm like, Joe, let's just, shh. It's a good song. And he'll listen and then he'll talk again. Unless it's something that has a lot of character. Like, if it's a song that he's never heard, and I don't know, I can't think of an example, and it has a storyline to it, and it's kind of fun. Like, the only thing I could think of is Because I Got High by Afro Man, but he's known about that song for a long time. But like songs that are kind of like interesting, he'll stop and listen and be like, you know, like Blake Shelton's Old Red. You know, if it has a storyline and it catches his attention, he'll listen. And then he'll be like, wow, you know. But most of the time, Joseph, he'll let you listen to the first bit and you're rocking and you got the music up. And then all of a sudden you see his hand come over and he lowers the music. And he was like, hey, Mom, he'll talk to me. And Joe's just a chatterbox. That's just what it is. And I've been the type of person, I'm in the car, I'll have conversation, but I also like to sing in this car and jam some music, turn it up a little bit, and just have a good time. Joseph, not so much. He doesn't care about music. He'll listen to some stuff, but very rarely. I pay for Apple Music for me and him, $18 a month. That's the only subscription I pay for at this time. And it's for me and him. It's like $18.01 a month for Apple Music. And I love, 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 love it. People tell me, why don't you do Spotify? Why don't you do them other ones? And they're free. Pandora. I've had Pandora. It's fine, but I enjoy commercial-free. Music is my language. Like, I love my ukulele, taking out my ukulele and strumming here and there. It takes me a minute to like get into it, but then I'll get into it, you know? Like, music is it speaks to my soul. So, yeah. Let's see, what else? Favorite comedian. So I don't watch a lot of comedians. Every now and then, like when I have spent the night with my Aunt Vicky and she watches a lot of those comedians on like BET and stuff. And I would get a kick out of watching a lot of them. On cruise ships, when I go on cruises, I love going to the late night comedy shows. Oh my God. And they normally have like famous comedians that you see on like the Comedy Central or whatever. Growing up though, I don't have a favorite comedian, but the one that stands out the most to me is Dane Cook. Me and my sister used to watch a lot of Dane Cook. And I think it's because he grew up Catholic and he had a lot of Catholic references in his skits. And we would laugh so much because how true he was about it, you know? And plus it also helped that he was a little good looking too. You know, Dane Cook, he don't look half bad. I don't know what he looks like now. I mean, I'm going back about, 10, 15 years. You know, but I don't really get into comedy. I'm all cool with a comedy show, you know, like I'm cool with watching comedy, but I don't really have a favorite. I love to laugh. I just don't notice, you know, I don't watch enough of it to have a favorite. My favorite movie, oh my God. I don't have a favorite movie. I could name a bunch. I like, oh my God. I love Dirty Dancing, and I'm drawing a blank. And I love Dirty Dancing. So many good memories. Dirty Dancing and a lot of the earlier Disney stuff. I used to love the movie Evita. I know that whole song by heart. The whole song, the whole musical of the whole movie by heart. I also I like to watch, I don't know, what other movies? I'm drawing a blank right now, and I don't know why, because I know there's plenty of movies I like to watch. Step Brothers. Step Brothers is a good one. Elf. I like Elf. Anything funny. Billy Madison. I love Billy Madison. That was a good movie. What else? I just can't think. I tend to gravitate more towards comedy, like Little Nicky. I love Borat. I don't know. That dang movie makes me laugh so much. And I had a friend who moved to Kazakhstan And they cannot stand that movie because of all the references, and it makes that country look really bad. But it's not in the fact that it makes it bad. It's just a funny movie, and I'm not meaning to make fun of anybody. But you know, it's just a funny movie. Okay. What do you dislike about YouTube? I mean, aside from all the damn ads, but I'm learning tricks to bypass them. I probably shouldn't say anything. So, besides the ads, what don't I like about YouTube? I don't like that if you don't, was it Sandra that said she don't like the dislikes? You can't see who disliked your videos. I think it doesn't show up. I don't know that the dislikes, I don't think it shows up for public, for everybody to see. But I know as a content creator, you can see how many dislikes that you've gotten. You just can't see who it is. But I think that was Sandra. For me, I think it's the fact as a creator, if you don't upload regularly, like every day, it will kick you out of the algorithm. So when I was doing videos every single day, you can as a creator, you can look at your stats in YouTube Studio, and it tells you how people access your videos, whether it's, recommended, or if it's like next video, or if they search for it. When I was popping videos every single day, I was in people's recommended a lot. If you decide to take off a few days from YouTube, the algorithm switches it to where you're not as easily, you don't pop up. You're not at the higher list of, they want you to be making videos consistently. And even if I was doing it twice a week, it's not, they want you every day to stay up there. And sometimes you may not, it just is where you are in the pool. And then Joseph taught me something very, very educational about YouTube a while back ago. If you click a dislike button, if you do any interaction with that video, that helps with the algorithm. So if you're watching a video that you really like, or if you're watching a creator you like or whatever, and you want to like totally get them, this is why we say all this. Like it, subscribe, make sure you're subscribed. Anybody I watch, I always like their videos. Comment. Make a few comments if you want, like some of you guys love popping off comments constantly in one video, which it is what it is. It's fine. But if there was a recent video that me and Sandra had seen, and Carla had seen it, and I told Sandra, don't you dare interact with that video. Don't you dare. I said, don't dislike it. I know you want to say something, but find somebody who could say something better. You don't want too many people seeing it, and you don't want too many people interacting. Even that dislike button. There is somebody who comes onto my channel, and it's got to be the same person, because they constantly dislike every single video, and I don't know who's doing it, and I really don't care, because you're interacting. So if you interact in any capacity, even a view helps. So that's why, like, Sandra had showed me this video, and and somebody, I did not advertise that channel, for one, to many people at all. And I told Sandra, don't you dare, don't comment, don't dislike it, because that's interaction, and that helps bring them up in the algorithm. You want to, the people you really like, the people that make a difference, in the community, who are positive people, are the ones you want to have in your recommended, right? So promote that, right? So what I dislike is the way they do their algorithm. I feel like if a video is disliked, maybe it should shove it down a little bit, but it's interaction, so it brings it up in the pool of videos. I feel like that needs to be revamped. I feel like I do. And I feel like if you fall off making videos for 2 days, like a normal human being, I think it's just because maybe YouTube wants you to do this full time and make them be, any job wants you part of their life. Because face it, like on YouTube, once you hit over 1,000, and if you're getting a check, even if you're not even getting a check every month, because they won't cut you a check unless it's a certain amount. So you can make money on YouTube. There's been times where I didn't reach their threshold, which is $100. And if I don't reach their threshold, they won't pay you until you do. So that could be 2 months. So, I may have over 1,000 and I may be monetized, but hey, listen, I'm probably making $100 now every 2 months. And that's what I'm doing. That's better than nothing, so it's like $50 a month and I get cashed out every second month. I just feel like, my subscribers have went up even more. There goes Dallas. Hey, Dallas. My subscriber count went up. My viewership has stayed the same, but I feel like the payout, which it is what, I'm not chasing money, I'm saying, like on this YouTube, I'm here with my friends. Yeah, I'm a little monetized here and there, but this isn't my main gig. I don't upload every day. If I was somebody who was popping out videos every day and twice a day, you're after it, this is my enjoyment. It is what it is. And if I get a check cut every other month, whatever. But I do think the algorithm's a little screwed up. What do you like most about YouTube? I like that there's potential to grow. I like that there's potential to be more. This is a very niche hobby. Video games surpass us, as far as popularity, of course, the news, people have hobbies that surpass the Reborn niche, right? So, I don't see too many. The popular Reborn doll channels, they've been around a while. But they are nowhere near the Mr. Beast or PewDiePie, level. And I just, as being real about it, I don't think any of us are ever going to get to that. And it is what it is. I'm not looking to get to that. I would like my channel to be consistent, and I would like, for it to grow, but it's not my main focus, my main focus is my babies, my other hobbies when I'm not at work, after paying bills and everything, when it comes to responsibility and Joseph and everything, after that, it's my dolls and everything. And YouTube is just like a nice plus. It's a nice plus. I've always done YouTube. If you look back, you guys, my YouTube channel originally was a vlogging channel. My first few ones was like 15, 16 years ago. And I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. It's my first 2 videos. And then I think there's a few of baby Joseph when he was like a couple years old. And then it turns into a nursing student channel, and I talk to you about school, I talk to you about clinicals, what to expect, because back then I was looking for nursing student videos on YouTube and nobody had them. So I did them, and then I stopped YouTube, and I did not realize how much YouTube has grown. And I came back thinking, holy crap, there's something to this. And I came back to talk about where I was now in the nursing profession. And then I was like, I don't want to do nursing no more on my YouTube. So then I started like doing random stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I did whatever I was into, whatever was going on in my life. Kind of like I do now with the dolls, whatever's happening, I talk about, And then, what else? Oh, then I started just doing regular vlogs, and I have deleted a bunch that had my ex-husband in them. I think there's some he's still in. But every now and then he'd pop in by himself. And I took those down. I have my wedding. I had a gorgeous, beautiful wedding. And expensive. It was nice. I left it up there. It's part of my history. I spent a lot of money on it. It was a wonderful, beautiful moment in time, a milestone. So I left it. And then after that, like I said, I did vlogs. I tried the mukbang, but I was like, I can't do those because I'm big as it is. I don't want to get to be on 600. Because what am I going to go from YouTube to 600-pound life? No. So I got to stop that stuff. I was like, no, because people, they eat all this shit, friggin' ramens and everything. It's disgusting. Anyway, I don't like mukbangs. But I like to eat. I mean, hell, who doesn't, right? I remember I was going to Sonic and getting like the big old hot dogs and like eating them and talking about life and everything. But I didn't set them up like the typical mukbang, whatever the hell they're called. Because like, you know, it really, it wasn't my thing. It wasn't truly my thing. I just like to eat, you know. But then I don't know what happened. I started doing the doll thing and I said, you know what? I'm going to make dolls be on my channel. Janice has a channel that was a couples channel, and she had asked me, hey, should I just add on to that channel? And I said, yeah, go ahead, go for it. But I feel like the Reborns was the best thing, even though it's not like, you know, gonna really, I don't think it's ever gonna be anything. This makes me happy. This, me, you talking, the babies, talking about what's going on in the world. It all makes me happy. The whole thing, it's like a puzzle piece. And it all comes together and it just makes me happy. My collabs with Sandra makes me happy. The fact that I've met so many of you, like, and talked to so many of you, related to so many of you, it's just like a huge positive thing for me. You know, working third shift is hard in itself. Doing nursing on third shift as a supervisor can be very mentally taxing. I don't do a lot of physical work. It's inconsistent, my physical work that I do when I help staff, but the mental stress. And I'm going to tell you what, I sleep a lot, but if I don't sleep, Melissa is night and day. If I do not get that good sleep, I am a miserable bastard. I am miserable. You know, if I don't get sleep, I'm miserable. So, and you know, I don't mind people wake me up. I don't mind. But if it's like, that's why I put my phone on do not disturb when I sleep, because, okay, one person wakes me up. All right. But then, you know, my mom used to call me. My sister used to call me. You know, Joey likes to talk to me on the way home. Yeah, well, he can still get through. He's still allowed. He's my only one. I think my ex is still, but whatever. But like, everybody thought it was party time for Melissa. And I'm like, this is my sleep time. While you're sleeping in your bed for, you know, 6 to 8 hours, I'm awake, you know? So like, I don't think you've ever come across me not well rested. If I am cranky. I don't know what I want. I'm indecisive. I have no clarity whatsoever. My ADHD is off the chain. You ever see me sometimes come in from work and I'm like everywhere but nowhere, you know, that's, I need my sleep. I need my sleep. And, you know, so, but what else? Oh, that's the end. That's the end of the getting to know me tag. So I am going to upload this. I'm going to upload this. I don't know what I'm doing next. That someone's car is really loud, like racing through the road. I could hear it. But you guys, you knew a lot of this stuff. A lot of you guys knew a lot of this. Beth from Grandma's Magical Whispers. Take the D out. Grandma's Magical Whispers. She is working on her nursery. And let me tell you what. I don't know if she's watching or got this far, whatever. Because I watch people's, if their videos are an hour long, sometimes I have to like watch 30 minutes and then watch 30 minutes more. She was showing her future nursery that she's working on. And then she started showing your house a little bit. But Beth, let me tell you what I would do. Now, I'm no interior decorator, all right? I don't have any type of certification, experience. You could ask Sandra. I don't. I'm all over the place, but nowhere, right? Okay. This is what I would do, but I would have other people help me along, right? I feel like your nursery should be this. It's up to you though, not me. It's up to you. Like shabby chic. And like the white, you talked about possibly, now, I'm usually not a huge advocate for painting hardwood, like good solid furniture. You talked about the Lindy crib. I call them the Lindy crib. I have the Lindy cradle. My doll room has been in shifting gear. It's everything. It's brown, it's black. I think that's what it is. Okay. But big butt right here. No, big butt. I seen that big dresser, that big old dresser, and I was like, that's a nice piece of furniture. And I would definitely paint it white and put some like shabby chic crystal knobs on, like go to like, I don't know what you got. Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. I don't know who you have. Get the crystal. Listen, I watch you guys' videos. I just don't comment, okay? I got to learn to comment better. So I know you guys sometimes watch me. So get the crystal knobs or the crystal, like something shabby chic, and put it on there. And then you have the glass shelves with the lighting. And if you could do like a shabby, what colors were you saying? I can't remember. Was it like I can't remember. But when I envisioned that room, you got 2 windows in that room. Oh my God. You got 2 windows. I got 1 window. You got 2. I can imagine going into a room and it's like airy and flowy, and it's got like this shabby chic lace and, lighter colors, maybe like a light lilac and a light, did I say that word right? And like a light rose, like a rosé. I'm thinking of wine for some reason, but like a light something, and a little bit light blue maybe, but maybe it's a little too posh. But I'm just saying, hey, you talking about chandeliers. Listen, I have a vision. Now, I don't know what else, but that's just kind of what's come out of my mind when I was looking at that room. You're going to have to ask somebody else further because I don't have anything else deeper to tell you. But that's it. That's all I can tell you about that. Congratulations to the new mama of the beautiful Sophie that June, Barbie, congratulations. I know everybody gets excited when they get a new baby. And for me, they're going to be more far and few in between. And it's such a exciting thing. So congratulations. Also, what else? I can't remember. There was something else I wanted to say. Sandra, I'm excited for the new little bunka. I'm excited. I really hope. I'm excited. You got 2 bunkas. Oh my God, she got 2 bunkas. Should I say that now? But you said in the video when you were selling another bunka, you said there was something you wanted, plus the guy one. So okay, I didn't completely screw up. Okay. So listen, it's gonna be exciting. Sandra's got this box opening coming, and I'm eager to see. She's talked about Olive for a long time, and I'm excited. I'm excited for her, and I'm really hoping. Now, let me tell you what. She talks about Olive a lot, and that it's awesome that she's getting this baby back. It is amazing that she's getting this baby back. Because she talked about it when she was selling June. And I can't believe a baby that she's been talking about for years, couple years now. Sandra, it's been like 2 years, 2 Christmases ago since you sold that bunka. And you talk about that baby. And I seen photos of her, and she is beautiful. Now, as always, she is. Sandra likes painted hair babies. That's no surprise. If she was rooted, in the case you did not want her in the future, that would be a beautiful baby to have. But she's not rooted. So, but she's gorgeous. She is gorgeous. I've had that sculpt twice. I've had an opened eye and a closed eye of that very scope that's coming back to her. Congratulations, Sandra. Congratulations, girlfriend. Congratulations. What else? I can't even remember. You guys, I can't remember. My eyes itching. My sinuses are like, bleh. I didn't even take my allergy medicine, so maybe that's what it is. Anyway, you guys, I got to go. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. Remember, like, subscribe, comment millions of times, share. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Tell your friends, tell your families. And until next time, bye-bye, you guys.